Hi, welcome to the next presentation. If you wanted to check out designing flowcharts using sticky notes, here's the how to do it. Your supplies are going to be pen, Sharpie, sticky notes, and space. A large sheet of paper. A marker board is preferable, but either one of those things will do. This is, by the way, my favorite technique. Okay, just to review the scenario, we're creating an app for pet food recipe exchange. The app's name is Made with Love. It needs a login page, a recipe input page, a finished recipe page, search recipe page, list of recipes, recipes by species and by ingredients. So we have some things to put into this thing. So when you're dealing with sticky notes, let's talk about the method and the advantages. First of all, it's fun. If you loved sticky notes as a kid, prepare to embrace your inner child because this is like the most amazing sticky note entertainment, an excuse to use them. Also, it's less expensive than most software subscriptions because you can get a giant stack of sticky notes for about $10 if you don't want to spend money for expensive ones. There's the yellow 3x3 sticky notes are awesome, and you can get a 12-pack for about $10 off of Amazon. It's easy to add and drop ideas because if you decide that you don't want a screen, you just take it off the board or your sheet of paper. If you mess up, just rewrite one sticky note. You don't have to redo the entire thing. And you can also color code them because you can get stickies in pretty much any color you want. Now, if you want to get extra fancy and spend a little bit more money, something that most people like to see in portfolio work, you can get the sticky notes, like in the picture on the side, that actually look like cell phones. And they come in all kinds of places. I've added the URL at the bottom of the screen. So, still some drawbacks though. Disadvantages, no spell check. There is no undo button. So if you mess up, you just redo the sticky note. Still better than redoing the entire drawing. You do need a lot of space for this, which means that having a whiteboard or a area on a wall or floor is kind of good to have. And the surface that you want to stick the sticky notes on should be something that you can write on, which is why a wall painted with, some sort of paint that makes it like a whiteboard is a pretty cool idea too. Okay, so once you have the project, here's some things you need to figure out. What are the needs for the app? What is the first screen? What devices you will be designing for? If the paper is small, make sure that you can read the scribbles after you use the Sharpie. So once again, if you're working on small sticky notes, you may want to use a pen instead of a Sharpie. Pick a starting point. Traditionally, the things that are on top and at the left-hand corner are going to be the most important, at least in the Western Hemisphere, because that's how we read and write, okay? And then you draw the first screen. Your equipment is pictured on the side here. You've got your marker, pen, sticky notes, and a white background. All right, so I start by identifying and mocking up the screens that I will need to make. So first, loading page. Made with Love app is just described as the loading page. When you are done, try to place the notes on the side so they don't get all messed up in a giant pile, but it doesn't matter. They're sticky notes. You can reorganize them. The next thing I do is the login page because it's another page that we need. You'll notice it's not designed. It's not pretty. It's just the list of functions. For the next thing, I work on the home page. Once again, it will display the recipe of the day. I also indicate that there will be a drop-down menu on the page, and I draw the drop-down menu on a separate sticky note so that I know what it's going to work. You'll notice that I have the lines for the home page to show that there's a drop-down menu, and I have an X that show that you can close the drop-down menu as well. All right. I'm not worried about space, so I can do as many create new pages. I create a create new account page this time, which I didn't have in the hand drawing because I just didn't have space for it. So I've got all the information that we would want for a new account, and I have a create new recipes page, which has all the input information for a new recipe, as well as a publish button. I build the get photo pages from the get photo from file and from camera choices to the photo from library and photo from camera choice. So I made 3 sticky notes of what was 3 teeny tiny boxes on the drawing. Okay, then I add the finished recipe and the final recipe, find a recipe box. This one I have a list that goes by species, type, and ingredient. Show up after you type in your keywords. Now that I have this giant pile of stickies, it's a little unorganized. I try to keep them in order, but you know, life happens. You need to organize them. For this presentation, I did not use a whiteboard because I figured most people don't have access to a whiteboard at home. So I just used several 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper that I laid out on the floor and then drew my arrows on top of that. If you have a big sheet of paper, it's even easier. And here's the finished product, right? I have the loading screen first, top left-hand corner, then it goes to the login button. It's only one-way arrow. And then I've got all the connections. So the home page with the menu, and the menu leads us to the find a recipe, create a new recipe. And this way you can show your train of thought. You can also show how all the pieces are connected. Okay, now you have a finished diagram. It's time to present it. So check out the how to present your work video at the bottom of the list. Thank you and see you in the next slideshow or video.